Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Gadigal people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello Squiz Kids listeners and welcome to another Kids vs Adults weekly news quiz. Your chance to see who's had their listening ears on and been paying the most attention to the week that just was. I'm Bryce Corbett. All week in the Squiz Kids Today podcast, we've been bringing you the big news stories of the day, run through our kid-friendly filter to make sure you know all you need to know about the world around you. Now, it's time to test how much of the week's news you've retained. So here's how it works. 5 questions for kids about the week in news, then 5 questions for adults. Whoever answers the most correct questions wins. Simples. You ready? Let's do this. Alright kids, here are your 5 questions. Question number 1. The world was shocked this week when aliens landed on Earth and said they've been hiding up on the far side of the moon for the past 20 years. Which galaxy are they from? April Fools! It's April 1, people. There were no aliens this week, just keeping you on your toes. Alright, here's real question number 1. We heard in the podcast this week how the people in the city of Seoul in South Korea were shocked this week to see what sort of animal running through the city's streets. Was it A, a zebra, B, a giraffe, or C, an elephant? Yeah, that's right. Well done if you said zebra. Question number 2. In the pod this week, we also heard about moves in California to ban candy with which colour food dye in it. Is it A, brown food dye, B, red, or C, purple food dye? Yeah, that's right, it was B, red. There's fears around the impact that red food dye has on kids' health. Sorry, Skittles. Question number 3. There was much excitement in the United States when a 3D printed what lifted off from Earth and almost went into orbit. Yeah, that's right, it was a 3D printed rocket. Question number 4. A big ice sculpting competition took place in Alaska this week. The winning team from New Zealand carved a sculpture featuring characters from which popular video game? And I'll give you a hint. He has a big moustache, and his friends include Princess Peach and Luigi. Yeah, of course, I'm talking about Super Mario. Question number 5. Scientists this week announced they had created meatballs in a lab using the DNA from what extinct mammal? And I'll give you a hint. When it lived, it was big and hairy and had long tusks and featured in the Ice Age movies. Yeah, of course, I'm talking about a mammoth. Mammoth meatballs. How did you go, kids? How many did you get right out of 5? Do you reckon that's enough to beat the adults? Yeah, I reckon so too. All right, adults. Now it's your turn. Fire up the grey matter. Here we go. Question number 1. New South Wales went to the polls last week and elected a new premier. What is his name? Yep, that's right. His name is Chris Minns. Question number 2. Tornadoes tore through which US state this week, causing widespread damage? Yes, well done if you said Mississippi. Question number 3, adults. Fake photos were all over the internet this week in anticipation of the criminal indictment by a grand jury of which US political figure? Yes, of course, I'm talking about former President Donald Trump. Question number 4. Melbourne is in the grip of Formula One fever this weekend. Name the young Aussie driver who's driving for McLaren. I'm talking about Oscar Piastri. Question number 5. Which Australian state this week established an Indigenous voice to its parliament? Yes, of course, it was South Australia. All right, adults, how did you go? How many did you get right? Did you beat the kids? Who won bragging rights this week? Remember, if you've missed any of these cool news stories throughout the week and you want to refresh your memory, all of this week's Squiz Kids episodes are available for a re-listen wherever you get your podcasts. Well, that's all we have time for. I hope you're enjoying these quizzes. Don't forget there'll be a new one dropping first thing every Saturday morning. And the best bit, they're absolutely free. Just as our other excellent content is now available for free too. We're talking Squiz Kids Shortcuts, a 10-minute deep dive on a range of cool topics out every Monday. Squiz the World, in which Amanda takes kids on an audio excursion to a different country each week, which is out every Wednesday. And for all the teachers out there, there's the Classroom Companion, our teacher-produced daily classroom activity sheets, curriculum aligned and tied to news stories in the daily podcast. Genius. Check it all out at squizkids.com.au or simply subscribe to Squiz Kids in your favourite podcasting app and all the audio content will magically appear automatically. For now though, this is Bryce Corbett signing off and reminding you all to get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.